Can you see what I see? We have garnet that have turned red, and I think I'm going to try one of these. Happy Tuesday morning. I had a little bit of a shock yesterday evening when I came up here to put some things on the compost. So I'm coming prepared, and we're going to have a look and see if the little visitor is still here. I don't know if I'm going to be quick enough. Yep, there we go. There we go. There we go. That is definitely a grass snake. The compost isn't active, but it's still warm. So we do have a pet snake on the compost. Happy Wednesday. I've just come down the plot just to spend a couple of hours, more or less just to see how things are developing. Didn't have breakfast, so I just picked myself a tomato for starters. I don't think I'll be having a pepper for afters though, but they're looking fantastic. Still a bit of a jungle in here. I've got some few of the garnet cherry tomatoes ripening at the back. Nothing else looks like it's turning just yet. I do need to prune some of this out. Not quite going out of the air vent yet, but I'm sure it wouldn't be long. I need to go and check a tomato plant down on plot 1. I did pull it a couple of days ago. I mentioned to Nick that there was some browning on the stem of a striped stuffer. So I'm going to go down. I did pull it out and just stick it to one side. I'm just going to go down, take some pictures and evaluate the situation and just see if anything's occurring on the other tomatoes. Right, I'll catch you down there. Right, as you can see, we now got a gap here. I pulled a striped stuffer, I think it was Monday. I had a quick fly down here and I wasn't liking the look of it, although I wasn't 100% sure it was anything to be concerned about. But let me go and show you. And there's nothing on any of the others. Right. Can you see that actually is going brown now? Let me get out the sun, you'll see the difference. It's not carried on down the plant, but it is in certain areas. Nothing looks like it's dying back. I think I remember blight last year towards the end of the season. But I cannot see really anything that concerns me. If that plant came out Monday, it's now Wednesday. Would it actually cause a bit more concern a bit quicker? I don't know if some varieties just have darker stems like that, because the rest of the plants are looking a-okay. Lots of tomatoes of every shape and size along here. Lots of cherries, lots of large beefsteaks. Some that have obviously fallen in the wind. I just need tying back in. But nothing I'm overly concerned about right now. Happy. Right, I've just given the plot a bit of a once over. Have we got a wobble? And I think the most pressing thing I want to do today is harvest the onions. They don't seem to be going over, like the stems don't seem to be bending over. But because we've had so much of this wet weather, I'm finding that if I leave them any longer, they are going to get white rot. I pulled two that came out pretty easily, and they're only the small ones. But I think I'm going to bite the bullet today and just get them all up and dry them off over the next couple of days outside, under cover, out of direct sunshine, I think. So yes, I think I'm just gonna get up my onions, pick a pair of gloves, get my hori. I've actually got onions growing in, how many areas? 1, 2, 3. Onions growing in 3 areas. So I think, as I said, bite the bullet and get them all up, because there is white rot. I don't want to chance it, and some of them are a really good size at the minute. So let's do an onion harvest. Alright, this is the second lot of onions I'm going to get up. Some crackers in here. Again, they're hugging the soil, they're not wanting to come out. I think, as you can see there again, tiny bit of onion white rot, so I think this is good timing. Get them up, get them dried off, or lose them. But these have got a much better root in this bed, and whoops, use your hori. Use your hori. Yeah, much better in this bed. In fact, I don't think this one is actually a no dig. This is me queen onion. Wow, that's a beauty. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get these out, and then we've got a third sowing in the brassica cage to get out. Let me just check this red one here while you're still watching. Again, these are so much firmer in the ground. Fantastic. Right, I'll get on with harvesting these onions and we'll show you at the end. Right, so there is our 2024 onion harvest. So grateful, because last year, as you know, we didn't get any bulbing onions whatsoever, and some of these are absolute crackers. These are some of the biggest white ones. Bit of a mixture of sizes, but I've put them on that table. Let me just show you these actually. I've just picked a few of the bulbing onions for some spring onions, because we didn't have any luck on the spring onions, but they will do. And what a fantastic harvest of onions. Right, so the onions are up. Next job is to try and start getting some of these starts out of the shed into the space that we've made from harvesting the onions. And what else did we harvest the other day? And the potatoes are all out now. So let me show you what I decided to plant where the onions were. So we have I think it was my third sowing of sweet corn. The second one didn't do so well, which you can see are these shorter ones. The first sowings that went in very early and got caught by that frost, only 3 survived. So we've got the first sowing there, the second sowing here, and now the third and final sowing of sweet corn. This one is bodacious. I think it's a new variety I haven't tried. So we'll see how we go. I've managed to get a 4x3 going here, -1. I accidentally pulled that one out, never mind. So I'm going to continue and get these in the holes. Quick water, and that's another job done. Right, next lot. Beetroot F1. Betoli. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 cells there of multi-sown beetroot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll get in there. I might save 3 just in case some get eaten. But then that'll be another sowing of beetroot in this bed. I'm going to harvest some of these beans today and move on to the next job. So let's get these beets in. Oh, the next job is going to be sticking these beans. Climbing bean, golden gate, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 there. I'm going to stick them down on the arch on plot 1. So another empty tray. Right, came down to plot 1 to get my, I think it's golden gate runner beans in. There was 4 that managed to germinate, so they've gone in one of the archway spaces. And just scouring over here next to the raspberries on plot 1, I'm finding a lot of, I would call them raspberry runners. They are literally coming up in the lettuce bed. So I want to tidy this up because I think the raspberries can be pretty unruly. So if I keep on top of these, some just pull out straight away like that. Some you literally, they carry on and on. These are the little tiny ones, so they've got really short roots, but some of them can start over here and I'm pulling right to over here. I'll check some more radish. See, I've just seen another one. There's 2 more there. So I'll pull them out and another one over there. But this is this year's lettuce while I'm here. I think these are the balloon ones. They are taking some getting going. Even with all the rain, they're just very, very slow. Even the red ones, and I think these are the second sowings. So they're not really ready to start harvesting yet. And we're very short of lettuce, believe it or not. After I've harvested the radish and taken the raspberry runners out, and then I think I'm going to head home. Right, it's nearly 1 o'clock. I'm done for the day. As we showed you earlier, I am going to risk leaving the onions here under the apple tree, so maybe not a great idea, but that's just till tomorrow. Got a little bit of harvest. Got a cucumber, a couple of courgettes, some beautiful raspberries, handful of strawberries, mixture of radish. There's another small bendy cucumber down there I can see, but I think I'll leave him. And I think I'm done for the day. Bit of weeding, planting out. I have got a couple more squashes I want to go out here, but I'll leave that for another day. Don't overdo it. Just something else I've noticed that I'm not really chuffed about. We have our bins emptied once a fortnight, I think. And I've just had this bin emptied and somebody's gone and stuck a huge bag of their weeds in my bin. So unfortunately I have got my bin located along a communal path, so I'm now going to wheel that round the back and out of sight, out of mind. One way to resolve that. So we'll see you next time. Bye. Decided to bring them home. They can sit on the back garden swing and air. There's just one that needs to be eaten. Pretty sharp, but the rest I can't get over. I'm really, really pleased with those. This video's for Ali, my rusty garden. I couldn't help but fiddle with my spuds. I've just been into one of my buckets down here just to see how moist they were, whether they needed a water, because we're having a lovely day, and I could see this one at the top, so I pulled it out. This is still one of the Sapomira Blue Danube. I think it's actually a white potato inside. It's not one of these red potatoes inside, but just look at the colour of that skin. I am going to leave them because we don't need any more potatoes harvesting just yet. I think this row here will be next on the agenda. Happy Thursday evening. This is unusual for us. I have got my home neighbour to cover tonight's shift for me, just so I could crack on and get some gardening stuff done. So I've got Tricia to come down as well. First time I've sort of been down 7 o'clock, 20 to 8 even. I just wanted to come down, run my eye over a few things and see what's occurring. Mainly come down to probably water the tomatoes in the greenhouse. Here she comes. You know, I said on the last video I did that the beans prefer a pole. It's absolutely true. The length of time they've been in here and struggled to get up the chicken wire. And look, in a week and a half, they're literally up the top of the canes. I think I need to do the same this side. Like I say, they do go up there, but they struggle a lot more. I put 2 other beans in the other day and they're still there, which is good. Good thing about coming this time of night is just the ambience. Look at the sunset and the sunflower. Loving it. Right, I can see a few white raspberries, but I think I'm going to be down here again tomorrow. Rebel starfighter, look. It's getting bigger by the day. Amazing. I need to come down again, tidy these up. They are looking perfect. I had a little wobble the other day with one of the plants, but these look absolutely fine. I've got, they all look like black tomatoes. We've got matte black tomatoes. We've got shimmery black tomatoes. We've got shiny black tomatoes there. Black strawberry, those ones. But I know I've got some sun gold down here, so that's why I'm down here. Found them. Here they are. Lots of more growth on these. I can see a lot of trusses with a lot of fruit on, which I'm extremely happy about. But look at these. Touch them and they come off. So we've got a garnet each, and we now got a sun gold. I think I'll take the other one. So there we have our first 3 sun gold tomatoes. Nothing else is ready. Nothing else is looking, touch wood, like it's been hit by anything it shouldn't. My rebel starfighter needs tying in a little bit more. I'm absolutely thrilled. This is what it's all about. Good Friday morning. Something else that's just thrown me, look at this. My iWatch is showing me what I'm filming. Not seen that before. What the purpose of that would be, I have no idea. So, let's head up the garden. Got my morning brew. I'm trying to be professional, I really am. So I woke up this morning and thought, you know what, I'm going to do something different. I tried editing my fortnightly video yesterday on my laptop that Tricia got me to do that on. So I'm struggling a bit with my latest video. Editing is not the easiest for me, and I'll tell you why. I usually do it all on my iPhone and find that very quick and easy. I'm trying to get a flow to the videos now. I am a bit haphazard, as you know. My style is just film what you see. I start with all good intentions to just film certain areas, and then I'll go, oh, look at that, oh, look at that. Can't help myself. I'm like a beginner gardener every day. And I know a lot of people have had a poor season so far and are struggling with a lot of their crops and actually getting them through that stage where they're going to start producing. I've got Swede sitting in a bed here, over there, it's in that bed there, the size of my head, and I'm struggling to know what to do with them. Again, getting excited, planting lots of things and still not really knowing when they're going to be ready to harvest and what I'm going to do with them if every single one of them germinate and grow. So I think I've got a Branston pickle session coming up with some of those. Somebody also has recommended roasting them first and then freezing. we'll see. We'll see. We live pretty near an army base over at Milden Hall, so we get the odd passing plane. I wonder if to check, and now it's like a horror movie, the birds. What's going on? See, everything's trying to scupper my plans. It's the swallows or the swifts. And if we're lucky, in a minute I'm going to turn the camera around and see if my little visitor, hissing Sid, is basking in the sun on the top of my compost heap. That was a bit of a frightener last week, totally out of the blue. Pulled the plastic back and there was, I say 5 foot, I bet it's near on 6 foot long. Very thin though, but a snake, and not something I like at all. But having read and looked at the markings, it's actually a grass snake and quite common. And I remember reading a description and it said they don't bite, they're not venomous. Oh good, that's good. But it could still lunge at you with a closed mouth. Do you think I'm looking if it lunges at me, whether its mouth's open or closed? I don't think so. I'd be down that garden as quick as a flash. So that was some sort of explanation as to this video and why it may be a bit here and there. And I'm just trying to put it together to make it more watchable. Good intentions. Right. Enjoy the sunshine. Shall we see if we can see that snake? Glutton for punishment, but I don't want you to miss out. I know you'd all be gutted if you didn't see it. No snake. May have disturbed him one too many times. Chopped up our compost heaps yesterday. We spent a lot of time in the home garden, just tidying the hedges, trimming the grass, and just generally tidying the place up, hanging the garlic, drying the onions, drying the shallots, getting them all stored up to supply us with onions, garlic and shallots over the next coming year. So the compost heap was added to quite a lot, and now I've stuck the thermometer in. We're almost at 55, so it's active and there's bindweed on there. I'm not sure if even there's maybe a bit of ivy once we've scraped the bushes down at the side. We've got brambles, we've got everything in there, weed seeds. It's actually just hitting 56 now, so it's in the red, it's in the hot. So a good experiment for those that are a bit scared to put certain things in the compost. I'm not. I'm going for there is ivy in here, I've just seen it. Some people will probably be shocked that everything's going in. People that are scared to put, like I said, certain things in there. Bindweed, ivy. There's only one way to find out. Yeah, it's sort of stuck now at about 57. So I'm happy with that. I'll cover it back up. We're in for a hot day and that'll start decomposing and making us some compost for the home garden beds later in the year. Do you want to have a look at my big Swede? Do you really? I can see it from here. Honestly, it's a bowling ball. Make sure I'm recording, make sure the sound's on. This is happening once. There's an ant on there now, but there's my hand. So let's go. Minding I don't stand on the cabbage and kohlrabi. Wow. Oh. Breaking my back. That is ginormous. I'm going to weigh that right now for you guys. Brought you into the boiler room just to show you where everything's ended up. These are the garlic cloves that are going to be used up first. They either haven't got a long stem on them, they haven't split into cloves, or when I peeled them, the whole skin came off and they're just into their little segments. the other garlics, as you would have seen. All the onions are now in here. They spent the day yesterday drying outside, but I've brought them in now. So we've got red onions, white onions. We've still got a basket of squash here from last year, the honey boat. These ones, uch curry, and lots of butternut squash, and they're all fantastic. They're stored really well. Down on the floor here we have 2 sacks of potatoes. So the ones with no green on are going straight into a bag. We were trying to separate them, but it's going to get ridiculous because I've got that many varieties. It's literally now just stick them in a bag and use them. So we've got a few beasts from yesterday. Look at that. That is huge and very odd looking. So that's going to go into the bag. In here, not that you can see for everything else, so let me lift a few onions up. We have our elephant garlic. That too yesterday was prepped. It's all dried nicely. And they're just sitting on a brown paper bag on the shelf. I haven't actually eaten one of our own yet, so I need to do that before deciding whether to grow it again next year. In the basket alongside that are seed potatoes for next year. They're all mixed up. I'm not bothered. A potato's a potato, but I've tended to go for the ones that have got slight green on them. Usually about an egg size. See how green that one is, but that doesn't matter, I think, if you're going to use it as a seed potato. So just to keep them in the dark, they're in here. I've got quite a few there. I've got some dried herbs. We've got some dried calendula, flower heads at the back there. Tricia's bird food, the onions. My worms are in here. They're doing fantastic. And that's the crazy that is our boiler room. Just to show you. It's quite warm in here. Let me just see what the temperature is. It's actually 22.8 Celsius in here. And the worms are just down there. Loving life. So I decided it's a little bit cooler in this porch that's closed off during the night. We've got a door. So this was literally just a thin bit of that garden wire, and it seems to have held these garlic very well. They're just sort of threaded through the little tops, and these garlic bulbs are not huge. Good size, usable size, but I think maybe if your garlic cloves were of any size larger, you would probably just get a larger piece of, thicker piece of wire. But they look beautiful, and I'm so pleased we've got those. The spare onions that need using quickly, a few shallots that need using quickly, so I'm going to take them off here today. I don't want to be sitting in the hot sun, so they need to be prepped and frozen. So we're going to have a bag of frozen onions, shallots, a nice selection. Alright, I thought we'd not got a snake here today, but we have. I was just about to take this plastic sheet off and use it for another project down the garden. So I pulled it back from here. You can see that we've got some hot compost going on. I don't want to stress the snake out, absolutely not. I pulled this side back. We have the snake. Oh yeah, you can see its little tongue out in that corner, feeling a bit stressed. Hissy and Sid can stay there, and I'm going to leave that compost pile for a bit. Happy Saturday! Right, I've just pulled up at the plots. The main jobs to do today are very much like I think everybody else. Get strimming. The paths are unbelievably, all the paths desperately need weed whacking, shrimming, whatever you like to call it. I've also managed to bag up about 10 bags of wood chip from the driveway at home that's been sitting there for months, and I'm going to lug that down to plot 1 now and get the paths covered down there. Job I've been meaning to do for so long. Just makes it look nicer. And we'll mulch the weeds. Other jobs, water the greenhouse, check for ripening tomatoes, and that'll be it for today. I've come down to Strim and bring wood chip down to plot 1, but I can't resist a walk around and look at these. Absolutely beautiful. These were the salmon nasturtium. We have the traditional ones over there, but oh my word, that is exquisite. Right, after a nice half an hour catch up with the neighbours, plot neighbours, I've managed to get in here. We didn't come down yesterday, so I know we have to water. Let me just stick that over there. He's desperate need of a drink. Right, all these I probably could do with a drink. I need to bring some of these home to go in the home garden. I need to get those Swede out and maybe dig some of the potatoes up at the end. And I've got 2 collies in the home garden, and the purple Sprite and broccoli, the all year round collies, self-blanching collies, and the kohlrabi all need to come home with me today to go in the home garden. Radicchio, I had a couple of spare ones. I did put some in the garden. These are my cucumbers that desperately need to go out today. Funnily enough, a few tomato plants there from Suckers, the Alice's Dream. And over in the corner, I think that's another cucumber. Right, action stations. I'm just going to take you in the greenhouse. It's my pride and joy. Let's go and have a look, see if we've got any coleridge, if that's a word. A few more San Marzano there. Alice's Dream, still green. I can see a little garnet at the back there, a little red cherry tomato. Everything else is very green. Peppers are all green. I checked these out yesterday. They're not actually chili peppers. I think 2 are chili peppers and the rest are sweet peppers. Huge lots. I did put the canes in and I do need to stake them up. Very heavy plants laden with, these are going to be red, and these are sweet as well, even though they look horrendous for temperature, they're not. Right, I can't chat anymore. I've got work to do. Right, I think disaster has struck. Just come down here now just to mow, and I can see brown stems on a few tomato plants. Not the best news, but hey, not the end of the world. It's just tomatoes. Can you see the amount of heads on that sunflower? Wow, beautiful. From a very exhausted, hot and sweaty mess, I'll see you next time.